All right, Colts fans, we are back with another film session interview. Today I'm joined by Colts wide receiver Ashton Dulin, who was an undrafted rookie last season, came on the Colts, and, after spending some time on the practice squad, I believe you were called up like halfway through the year. Was it? What week did you get called up?
It was week 3 against the Raiders.
Oh, okay, so early in the year. And
Oh
then,
yeah, early about my week 4, week 5. Yep.
yeah, yeah, so real early in the year. And then, you kind of jumped into that kind of punt gunner special teams role for the rest of the season and really took that role with pride there. And before we kind of jump to kind of talking about that role for you and talk about the clips and stuff like that, I did kind of want to ask you, beforehand, did you play any kind of gunner or anything like that in college? I know you came from a fairly small school in Malone.
Yeah. So my senior year was actually the only year that I played gunner in college because just wanted to be able to show I had some versatility as far as playing in different spots for the next level. And so my senior year was my only year playing any type of gunner or special teams. Well, gunner, just to say the least. That was it.
Gotcha. And then, kind of talking about Malone here, Malone's was a small school. I know they don't have a
Mhm.
football team anymore, I don't think. So,
Correct.
you're gonna go out with all the records there from everything I've seen.
Right.
No one's gonna break any of your records there. But from just some base reading I've done, you went to Malone University. I know you had some Division I offers and stuff like that. But I believe you went to Malone to also do some track. Was that the reason why you attended Malone University?
Right. Malone offered two scholarships for track and football, and that was something I wanted to do the next level, just to, as far as the college level, being able to continue to run track as well. And Malone was the best place that suited me as far as being able to do both and still focus on football, but still have track to go along with as well. And just with that, they helped out a lot with just maybe help me understand that what ledge will allow you to do both. We have no problem with that. You want to feel pressure to to stick to one sport or do anything like that. So being able to do both sports was definitely a big for me as far as just getting exposure and doing everything I love to do at the next level. So I couldn't complain at that.
Yeah, awesome, man. Making that jump from the college game to the pro game is always it's a big thing for anyone, but given, from Division II, it's even bigger jump. What were kind of the lessons that you learned throughout that rookie season? Maybe not even as a receiver, but just as an overall player.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot more time spent, off the field as far as, playbooks and, eating right and doing the little things, with Division II, it's small, may not be as much competition or anything like that as far, as playing in the league. But just realizing that everything you do has an impact, whether it's on the field or it's off the field. So that was one thing that I kind of realized and had to slow down for a second, like, okay, I have to spend more time doing something else rather than focusing on just what my game plan was for that week, but just knowing that everything I did for that week impacted what I did on game day. So that was probably just the biggest jump and the biggest difference from Division II.
Yeah, for sure. And then going to this next season here, before we jump into the clips, you're getting a new wide receiver coach in Mike Rowe from Philly. From everything, I talked to Marcus Johnson last week, and he had some really high, words and stuff like that, and some praise for Grow and everything that he'll bring. But have you talked to Grow at all yet? Do you have any kind of, communication with him yet?
Oh yeah, yeah. We just around meetings and just talking to him individually. He's a great coach. He knows exactly what he's talking about. He wants the best out of all his receivers, and that's the good part about it. He doesn't show favoritism to one person. He gives everybody the proper attention, his unattentiveness, and then he just knows that we all want to get better, and we all just love to play the game, and he loves to coach the game. So I think that's what makes him such a great coach.
Awesome. Now getting to the clips here, and I kind of want to go back to, you said you played gunner at Malone your senior year. Was that kind of a decision that you made, your coaches made? Because I know that you said you kind of wanted to make, you want to do that to kind of show yourself for NFL teams, stuff like that. So was that something that you went to the coaches and said, like, hey, I want to play some gunner, so this helps my NFL prospects?
It was more like a mutual decision. My special teams coach came up to me and said, we want to try to get you on more special teams as far as gunner and everything like that to show that you can play that position. And it was kind of like, I was thinking the same thing, like, yeah, like that was an idea that I had in mind as well. So when he came to me with that and that proposing that idea, I was like, yeah, I'm all for it. So it worked out.
Yeah, for sure. And then how did it go about, you becoming, not only the gunner for the Colts, but also pretty much a core special teamer for the team last year? I mean, again, you got called up and I think it was week 4 was against the Raiders.
Mhm.
And then you kind of quickly became that gunner when injuries started piling up to that wide receiver group. I mean, was that something that, like, in the off season that you were kind of repping as gunner and that became the thing in game time, or how did you kind of become like the gunner for the team on Sundays?
That's just come through preparation throughout the week, throughout OTAs, throughout training camp. Just, special teams is something that every player should have to do, whether you like it or not. It's something that's it's a big part of the game. And I just took that role and embraced it as, even though I'm not on offense or, that's a position that I came in, wide receiver, everybody wants to play and everybody wants to do their position that they came in for. I just focus on, just taking my role and using that to the best of my ability. And that's what I did, and that's what it came down to: preparation throughout the week, and just continuing to work hard, continuing to focus on my assignments and my job, and do my 111th, and that's what it came down to. And earn my spot, and that's just what it all comes down to: earn your spot.
Yeah, absolutely. And when it comes to being gunner, you're going to have to get down there and make a lot of tackles. And I'm assuming you haven't played any defense since high school, because I don't think you played much
Correct.
defense at Malone. So how was that transition for you? Kind of getting back into tackling fundamentals, tackling and stuff like that, and kind of getting used to being the guy making the tackles.
Yeah, I definitely had to strap on my hard hat, to say the least. Just in high school, and I played free safety, so I had some type of fundamentals with tackles. So just going back and falling back on that, and knowing I have some experience in tackling, it really just came down, just the preparation throughout the weeks, and coach is doing a good job of helping us, just fitting the outside into the ball and make sure nothing gets around us, and also know when to take our shot and to make the tackle.
Yeah, for sure. And I think I have the audio still on this next clip here, so we'll just ignore that. But
Okay,
I
cool.
always forget to turn that audio off. But yeah, again, I mean, we can see on this next clip here just that tackling ability here. I think you forced a fumble on this play. So they're nearly able to recover it here. Just a great hat on the ball here and stuff like that. But the next thing I kind of want to talk about when it comes to being a punt gunner here is, so much of it is beating your guy off the line, kind of like being a receiver. So how does that aspect kind of overlap there, being a receiver, beating a guy off the line compared to being like a gunner and beating these guys off the line?
Yeah, definitely. So, being a gunner, the most important thing is your stance and your start. It all starts with your start, same as a receiver. When you're loaded up in your stance and you're getting ready to beat a DB off the line, it all starts with how you start. Because if you can't get off the line, then you're going to be taken off the play, whatever it may be. So being a gunner is the same thing applies, just making sure that your pad level is down so you can't get into your chest. And when you're getting off the line, make sure your first step is with power, speed, and it's definitive. So, that corner, that vice corner doesn't get a chance to get hands on you. You just get a chance to slow you down, because essentially you and your gunner are the first guys down there. So once you get down there, get off the line of scrimmage, beat your man. Right there, it's a foot race. So, and that's between being is a foot race. So that's what I did right there when you get to the white, getting a foot race and beat your man downfield and to make the play.
Yeah, absolutely. And, we mentioned your track background at Malone. I know at the combine you ran, I think, a 4.4 flat, which, it shocked some people because, small school guy, not many people expect you to come out there and run that fast. And you were also a great kick returner in college as well. So all of that, that speed is so big when it comes to being a gunner and being this kind of ability here. Was that another one of the main reasons why, the Colts were so prime in getting you on the field in this kind of role?
Definitely, just taking advantage of of the talents that God blessed me with, and just using playing to my ability, playing to my strengths, and using that to in the end just help me to rise my perfect my game and get my game to a point where it's good enough to be able to play on Sundays and stuff like that. So just knowing that my speed and my strength is something I can play to is what helped me out a lot.
Yeah, for sure. And going to this next season, you have competition again at the bottom of the roster, like you did this last off season as well, where you actually didn't make the roster initially. Other guys did, and then you were able to get back on the roster. But this year you got Des Patman, who's coming in. Marcus Johnson is still back on the roster. Darius Fountain's coming back. So all these kind of guys that you were competing with last year now are going to be competition again. Do you think that this special teams ability kind of gives you a bit of a leg up in that competition?
It definitely does, but it all comes down, just doing your assignment. Not really. It's a competition, of course, and that's why we play the game. We love competition, but just knowing that those guys are going to work hard. We're all going to work hard together, and just focusing on just doing your part, and then everything will fall into place. God will take care of the rest, but you can only control what you can control. So as far as just doing my job and then focusing on what it is I have to do to get the job done is really the main focus. Not worried too much about the numbers and statistics and stuff like that of previous seasons and what's happening now. But just realizing that what I do is in the ultimate end goal. So that's what I'm focused on, really.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And there's also some other key special teamers on this team last year.
Mm-hmm.
George Odom was excellent as the other gunner and stuff. Luke Rhodes has been a staple there. I know Jordan Wilkins played a lot as well. How close did you kind of get with those guys throughout last year, and did they kind of help you at all? As you were kind of making that adjustment to, an NFL special teamer.
Yeah, definitely. George was a big help. Just finding out little things, to beat corners or beat advice, whether it's in the game or just throughout the week, and practicing different techniques, that would help me to win my matchup. So George was definitely a big role. Luke is great. He's one of the first guys down there. Congratulate me after whatever it is, make a tackle or it's down the ball on the one or whatever. He's one of the first guys there. So Luke was great, and just helping out and just being a great team guy and great leader. But those guys have definitely helped me to, shape my game, and couldn't be happier for them being there with me.
Yeah, absolutely. Now let's get to the fun stuff here. Playing special teams is great, but you want to be in the NFL to be a receiver. You want to be the guy who's going to get those passes, who's going to do the little things on the field for the offense. And against the Titans, you had one catch in the stat book, your first NFL catch, and you had another one that was called back due to a penalty, which was a more impressive play. So we'll have both of them right here. So the first one, you're coming across the middle, you're able to get your space and catch it for a first down. That one gets called back, and then the very next play, you get the quick screen and you're able to take it for about 11 yards. So, but how good did it feel, to be in an actual NFL game, getting the ball in your hands again, just like you did in college and in high school and all that, just getting that ball in your hands again and kind of helping the offense?
Oh yeah, it's like a dream come true. Everybody, receivers, whatever, running backs, whatever the case may be, everybody dreams. That first time they touch the ball, that first catch, whatever it is. So that first catch definitely lived up to everything it was going to be. Even though my first, technical catch was called back, the second one just felt just as good as the first one. So just having that, that finally be, etched in the stat books is my first catch. It felt great, felt good, and just hopefully get some more.
Yeah, yeah. Did you feel the nerves coming on as that first ball was coming your way on this first catch? I mean, you stumbled a little bit after the catch there. Did you feel the nerves a little bit?
Oh yeah, definitely had to reach out for it. I got to go and extend full extension for it, but the nerves definitely came with it. But I was just trusting my preparation and trusting my abilities. That took care of the rest.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you're running this route here, I mean, was this just a simple, you're just drag cross or whatever, and it was supposed to be, your zone beater or whatever? What were you trying? What was the, I guess, overall call on this, and were you the main read on this play?
Yeah, I was just focusing on building up the speed. It's a simple, shallow route. Just building up the speed and getting across with speed. So it opens up the play for the QB to make his decision on where he wants to go with the ball, and that was the main part. Just getting across the speed and beating that linebacker, that overhang on that safety. So that was the main part, and just getting across the field. And he found me, made the catch, and that's what needed to be done.
So when that first one got called back, the play right after is where they got you the screen and they got you the ball back in your hands. Was that specifically called with you in mind there, or was that just the position that you were in? They were calling it to that receiver position. You happen to be the one getting the ball.
Yeah, I was in a position for that play. I just happened to be the one getting the ball again, so it worked out, for me.
Yeah.
So I was able to take advantage of that.
Yeah, it just seemed like they were trying to get you that ball. It's like, okay, we took away his first catch. We got to give him another one out there.
Man, that can be what it felt like. That's what it felt like, really. Just give me another chance, coach.
So we kind of went through your rookie year here and stuff. And, I kind of wanted to go back a little bit here to your senior year college stuff. So these are just a couple of your plays from your huddle here. I just wanted to throw them out here for the people watching because, it's not easy to watch that Division II film and stuff. It's hard to get it and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how many people see the upside with you as a result and see, your athletic ability and just your ability as a receiver. They just saw kind of the special teams. But what are you kind of trying to do this all season so you can become, this Ashton Dulin, I guess, in the NFL and make plays like this here this next season in the NFL?
Just continuing to work on my craft, just every part of the game, route running, releases, catching the ball, just everything I can do to even, just with studying film and then watching, other guys who are doing it right now in the NFL, watching them and, see what makes them great and what separates them for the rest of the league, and just watching them and then continue to critique myself and make my weaknesses and strengths. I think it will be the biggest part for me. And then just really just, not getting too caught up in, the numbers or where I am on the roster spot, but knowing that if I continue to work, continue to progress my game, then and in turn that will create what I want to do, and that's play on offense and continue to get the ball in my hands.
Awesome, man. Was there any player in that wide receiver room or whatever that kind of, I guess, took you under their wing, or was kind of like someone that was able to give you a lot of advice as you went into your rookie year last year?
Yeah, we had we had Funch, so Funch was there to help us out a lot, especially me, and then ZP Zach Pascal. He did a great job, with just help me out with things as a receiver and special teams as well, because he's big. He's big on our team with special teams, and
Mm-hmm.
he was, he always told me, I reminded him of himself his rookie year, just starting on special teams and then eventually working his way up into the offense and becoming a bigger increased role in offense. So ZP is definitely a guy that helped me out, on and off the field. Definitely someone I looked up to as a mentor, and he's definitely continued to help me out as well.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, that kind of guy should give you a lot of confidence too, because he's a guy
Mhm.
who went from, I think he jumped around to 3 or 4 different teams before he landed
Yeah.
with the Colts. Was that punt gunner for, the Titans, I believe, before the Colts, and then came over to the Colts, kind of that same role. And then slowly earned his way not only to get some playing time, but last year I think he had over 600 yards receiving, over 5 touchdowns. Does that kind of just give you more confidence seeing a guy like, he's a success UDFA story, just seeing that kind of guy on your team right there every single day, seeing what he does that kind of help you and kind of give you some confidence?
Yeah, it definitely does. That's a guy who who's in the same shoes as I was. With him being undrafted free agent. So no, it gives me confidence. That he did it with hard work, and it can be done. It's not something that's impossible. And just knowing that that somebody like him has already done it and is continuing to do it, just gives me the confidence. That I can do it too. That's what I like to see. Just knowing that it can be done and it's possible. With hard work, it can get done.
Yeah, absolutely. And then looking at these Malone highlights here, it doesn't have to be one of these ones here, but what was your favorite play in your Malone career? Did you have any of that comes to mind?
I would say against our rivals, Walsh, my junior year, I believe. I had a catch in the end zone. I had a catch on the sideline. I stumbled on the out route, caught the ball, and I made a guy miss, and then a play that looked like it was dead to right is right where it was, but it looked like it'd be a 4-yard gain, turned into like a 40, 50-yard touchdown. So that was probably a highlight. It was one of my better plays, one of my best plays, I think, that I liked because just being able to stay on my feet and show athleticism and get to the end zone.
Awesome, man. Yeah, we're going to have everyone who's listening to this go check out his huddle. I think it's right there on the huddle. We can go, you guys can go check out the highlights and stuff like that and see what kind of a monster, you were at Malone. I mean, how many records do you have at Malone? I saw you had a bunch, right, for track and for
Yeah,
football, right?
I have the 400-meter hurdle record. I have the 60-meter hurdle record. I was All-American for both, and as well has I think a receptions record and all-purpose yards as well for football. But yeah, just had a great time alone. Loved it. Loved all the coaches there. The program and discontinued and everything. I still talk to your guys every day. Keep in touch with them, and they're continuing to play football at a different school or trying to move on to the next level too. So those guys, they're great. I love them. And they're still gonna be a part of me wherever I go.
Yeah, and we got a lot of track stars on this Colts team here. We got we got Naeem Hines, who I know
Mhm.
was a big track guy. Paris Campbell is an elite athlete as well. Ty, I mean, I feel like we could field a pretty good track team, right? I mean, if we could.
Oh yeah, I think we have a pretty nice 4x1 if you ask me. I think we could definitely challenge some professionals out there.
Yeah, for sure. No, 100%, man. Last question I have here before we kind of close this off, though, is you were a great kick returner in college. I mean, that was one of your main staples there at Malone, and another reason why you were so productive. Has there been any talks from the Colts or from anything like that of them trying you at kick returner this next offseason or this next season here?
Oh yeah, I've definitely got some reps. In my rookie year, I had some reps at kick returner. And, just continuing just to build my game as a special teams player and continue to be a factor on more phases and things like that. So that's definitely something that I'll continue to work on is my kick returning and continue to get better at. They'll give you my shot for sure. But just continuing to keep my head down and working on that, and it'll all come to future and come to pass. So we'll be all good.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Oh, and I had another question for you. I had a couple people saying they didn't love the 16 on you this last year. Do you plan on keeping the 16, or are you gonna consider, maybe getting up to the numbers in the 80s or something like that? People love those numbers in the 80s, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I might stick with the 16 just because
Yeah.
it has a little bit of meaning to it. My dad's birthday fell on April 16th, so just I might keep that number. I have talked to one of my teammates about switching numbers with him because Marcus Johnson, he was 16 before, so
Mhm.
he's talked to me and tried to get me to switch and anything like that. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see it play out. I might change numbers. I might not. We'll have to just see what happens.
We'll see. We'll see. I'll let those people know who all love those 80s numbers that we'll definitely see going forward. But before we conclude this here, man, I mean, again, very very good rookie year, especially for an undrafted free agent. Getting called up so early in the season and being a producer. I mean, that's something that a lot of undrafted guys just aren't able to do. So, hats off to that great rookie season. Now going to the second year, what can we kind of expect as fans from Ashton Dulin, not only this off season, but also kind of this next regular season?
Just building on top of what happened in his previous year, just continuing to be a factor on special teams, and then continue to work to grow my role on offense as well, and then making big plays on offense and special teams. Because the more you can do, the longer you can play in this league, and that's what I'm focused on. Is expanding my game, so in turn that I can get a bigger role and expand my role, and with that, comes with hard work, and with that comes responsibility. So just building that trust with the coaches, my teammates, and everything will fall into place from there.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Well, hey, I appreciate the time today, and good luck with this upcoming season.
Thank you. Appreciate that.